Hey guys, it's Yusafa. Welcome back to another episode of Voices of the Community. Tonight's guest has one of the most unique journeys in MCOC. Gavin, or Gavi Gav, started playing in 2015 as a completely free to play kid. No spending, no shortcuts, just grinding and learning. Then COVID hit, he joined LVT, made a master's run in Alliance War, and saw what true top end competition would look like. That led him into Mysterium-tier Battlegrounds, where he realized the roster gap between the top players and everyone else, and that's when the spending began. Today, he's got about 31 rank 4s, has spent well into the double digit thousands, and competed at the highest levels. But now he's come full circle, shifting back to grinding and earning, reconnecting with the game the way he started. Tonight, we're talking about that journey, the spending culture, monetization concerns, Ascension, and why Everest content is still his favorite part of the game. Let's jump into this conversation with Gavin. Hey guys, it's Yusafa. Welcome back to another episode of Voices of the Community. Tonight I've got Gavin. Gavin, how about you give an introduction of yourself and how you started playing this game?
Sweet. Yeah. So my name's Gavin. I'm 21 years old. I started playing around 2015. So I've been around the community for a minute, kind of hopped around the competitive scene, the casual scene. Right now, I'm kind of taking it more casual. Just secured War Champ with LVT a few seasons ago. So definitely been around all parts of the community. I started playing because I'm a huge Marvel nerd. I have all the comics. I have a bunch of first edition comics, all kinds of Marvel memorabilia all over my office. So that's kind of what got me into the game, and I've kind of just got hooked on the competitive aspect, and yeah, that's kind of where we went from there.
Yeah, and before we started, so you say you're in the alliance with Sefasi, who is
Yeah.
a former alliance mate of mine, and you
hmm
just came back from LVT, and that's where you got your war
hmm
champ. That's absolutely fantastic, man. You congrats to that because that is quite an
Thank you.
accomplishment. Something that I've never myself been able to achieve, being a war champ. And I know
Yeah.
that takes lots of dedication and focus in order to get that. So congratulations to that, man. And it's
Thank
definitely
you. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, worth stepping back a little bit. And what do you do now with Say? Is it mostly focused on
So
battlegrounds?
yeah, so we're kind of focused on war for the most part,
Okay.
but we're like kind of doing Plat 3 war. I kind of stepped down to hang out with my buddy Kurd, and so
Are you
we're
with Kurd too?
he's been trying to get me over for the longest time. So he leads
Yeah,
the alliance, and I'm doing some planning for them now. So
yeah,
just kind of dipping my feet in that because I haven't done that yet. So
yeah,
we're kind of taking that. It's kind of day by day, but yeah, that's what we're doing now. Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it was a wild season with LVT. I mean, we went 12-0, so it was definitely a strong one. And our final war was GT, and then we won by one. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't think we've ever been able to beat GT, unless they were, just taking a season off. So that's great. That's fantastic. And Kurd is a great guy too. So I'm a little upset he wasn't able to make it up to Summers Fest. But maybe we'll catch him next time. Okay, so stepping back, so you started playing in 2015.
Mhm.
I mean, 2015. You're 21 now, so that was 10 years
Mhm.
ago, right? So you were
Yeah.
50, you were 15 years old when you started playing this game. I mean, I know. So my son is 15 right now, and I know he has no money in order to play this game. So I'm sure that you picked up
Mhm.
this game and you just started grinding. Is that what you were? Is that what you did?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was pretty free to play at that point. I mean, my
Yeah.
account didn't really skyrocket until about 2020 when I started my business and doing my own thing. And
Okay.
I made a decent amount of money, and I was like, don't really have anything to spend it on. So MCOC kind of took over.
So, all right. So let me drill that down into that a little bit. So you started your own business in 2020.
hmm
All right, so I remember something happening in 2020, and I think it pretty much shook the world. So COVID happened in
100%.
2020. How was that when you were starting a new business, playing this game, and meanwhile you got COVID lockdown going on?
Yeah, so I had a lot of time on my hands in COVID. I didn't really take school too seriously during that time, to be fully honest. They kind of froze our grades, so it kind of helped
Yeah.
out, and I could kind of do my own thing. I played professional Rocket League for a little bit of time,
Okay.
and so I ended up getting a scholarship in college to play Rocket League for a while, and so
Wow.
that was kind of my yeah. So that was kind of my thing, and I met this guy on Rocket League, and we kind of connected, and he owned a construction company, and he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for marketing, and my dad's always been a graphic designer, so he's been
Yeah.
always in that marketing aspect. He's owned his own business for like 50 something years. That's his thing. And so growing up, I was all about the marketing and honestly just like the artistry and just things like that, just super graphically inclined.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, I talked to him and I was like, "Hey, I'll make you a logo." And so we kind of hit it off and we kind of went from there. And then I was like, maybe I could just start reaching out to people. And my dad kind of helped me get it off the ground. And he was like, "Yeah, you can just reach people on Facebook." And so I just started
Yeah.
messaging people on Facebook and being like, "Hey, I'll run your marketing campaign for you. I'll do this for you." And so kind of start from there.
Wow. Have you ever thought about getting into content creation at all, like on YouTube or Twitch?
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I
Yeah.
used to stream a little bit of Rocket League, and I'm actually getting back into Call of Duty right now, and I've been streaming a bit of Call of Duty on the side. So,
Nice, nice. All right, so 2020, you started making a little bit of money. You had your own business. What finally pushed you into from a free to play to a spending role?
oh gosh, it was probably gonna be July 4th. I mean, I
Mm,
saw those deals, and I was like, I need to catapult my account.
right.
I want to get more into the competitive aspect of this game, and then so I started spending, and it wasn't like crazy. I mean, I spent a couple $100, but it was like when Battlegrounds hit, that's when I really started like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to start prioritizing my deck. And
Right.
I have the money to do it. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you recognize that your roster was probably not at par to needed to compete with
Oh,
Battlegrounds.
for sure.
Yeah. How are you doing
hmm
in Battlegrounds now? I mean, do you what bracket do you usually place at?
I'm pretty comfortably like Mysterium 1, Mysterium 2. I don't
Okay.
really ever push Celestial. I don't know if I've ever I tried it one season. Um, didn't go so well. So I've kind of just been floating around Mysterium 1 and 2. It's been a little bit busier lately too,
Right.
with everything going on. So yeah, so that's kind of where I float.
And what does your roster look like right now? Like how many R4s do you have?
I think I have 31. So I have 31 rank
Okay.
fours at the moment. I counted the other day because that big like superior spending offer came out that just
Absolutely.
came out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
so I counted the other day. I think I have like 115 rank twos, 80 rank fours, something like
Okay.
that, or 80 rank three. Sorry, yeah.
I'm
So,
I'm assuming you picked up that deal.
not yet. I'm
You
kind of
haven't.
waiting.
You haven't done it yet.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kind of on a free to play kind of
Okay.
grind right now. I've been doing arena, just kind of cutting back to kind of see where the game goes with all the big announcements. So
Right. Right.
that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that I don't think it's going away anytime soon. So
For
yeah,
sure.
you just take your time doing it. All right. So now you have 31 rank fours.
Mhm.
What does that roster actually unlock at your level right now? I mean, are you now able? Do you feel comfortable in obviously high tier war,
Mhm.
battlegrounds? Do you think that that level of roster now has increased your overall enjoyment of the game, or do you think that now I mean, after 20 R4s, and you everything else is just gravy now?
Yeah, I mean 100%. I think the biggest difference for me is like I needed to rank certain holes in my roster,
Yeah,
and now I can just rank whoever I want to have a bit of fun with. I mean,
yeah,
my newest one's Lizard, so I got the first appearance Lizard after like a 10 pop using units, which
right,
I thought was ridiculous, and so I just took him straight to rank 4, and it's just been having a blast with him. So I can just that's kind of the main thing I've noticed is that gap between necessity and fun has definitely decreased for me, and
right.
I can have a lot more fun with my rank ups.
Right. I mean, do you care about prestige at all, or is it just kind of like one of those things out there?
I used to when it was like before the whole switchover system. When it went to top 30, I mean, I have so many rank fours that it's already increasing by a lot. I think I'm at like 31, 32,000 right now, something like
Yeah.
that, maybe a little higher. So it's not really a big factor for me. Maybe if I start pushing Alliance quests, but I don't think that's a game mode I've never enjoyed,
Yeah.
along with a lot of people, obviously. So I haven't really thought of pushing prestige ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever see yourself going back up to a high tier one alliance, doing alliance war, trying to do a war champ again, going back to LVT or going back to another tier one alliance?
Yeah.
You do see yourself?
Probably.
Okay.
I did like LVT a lot. LVT is was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, people there were great. The environment was great. The planners were great. It was a very chill experience and like a lot of I noticed a lot like when you get to the top of that masters scene, a lot of alliances become super toxic and I never really felt that with LVT.
Yeah.
So eventually I think I probably will. I promised Kurt I'd play a little bit down here with him and I'm enjoying it for now. So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've only been in one tier 1 alliance for the past 6 years. I have not moved. I'm very comfortable where I'm at.
Mhm.
And I love the culture, love the community, love the group of 29 other players that I play with. I also have heard of the possible, toxic environments in other ones. I haven't experienced it myself. I do know that LVT and SSX and 4Loki and a few other alliances, tier one alliances, do hold the same sort of culture that I'm used to. I've never
Mhm.
felt the need to move over to one of those other alliances, just because I'm comfortable with where I'm at. But I have heard those concerns as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I've
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been around long enough to kind of know where that toxicity sits,
Yeah.
so I know what alliances to avoid, and I'm like, they're not really my vibe. So,
Right. Right. Um, so I want you to be honest with this question. Um, did spending make the game more fun,
oh,
or
100%.
you think it did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also probably created a little bit of like a gambling spin to win addiction.
Yeah.
That kind of just overtook over time. Where if I didn't have the money to do it, it would be a little problematic. But thankfully, I'm in a good position.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say for sure, it made it a lot more fun. Just that gap between not having to rank things because I
Yeah.
needed that hole filled, and I have like 10 different counters for the exact same fight. Then I
Yeah.
can just use whatever I find most fun or what I want to find most fun that day. Yeah.
What piece of advice would you offer somebody who's thinking about, participating in like Cyber Weekend coming up or Banquet, who hasn't really spent a lot in this game so far? What piece of advice would you offer them?
Yeah. I would say probably my biggest piece of advice is be careful because it's a slippery slope. I mean, once you start spending, it's hard to want to stop. And I'm like, oh, this offer is not that good, and then I find myself like 2 years later buying every early access bundle and everything that comes into the store. So
Right, right. Did it take a reset of your brain to finally, step back and start doing more of a free to play stance after you left
yeah, it did,
LVT?
and
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting. My units are not going up that fast, and
yeah,
everything's kind of going slow. And I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like, I have 30 something rank fours. I don't really need to accelerate my like. I'm not at a point where someone with 50 rank fours or 40 rank fours. I feel like I'm like outclassed roster wise,
yeah,
if that makes sense. So the game's kind of in a weird standstill where it's like if you're at that top level, there isn't really anywhere else you can go.
yeah,
So that's why I'm like thinking about probably even skipping Cyber Weekend this year and
yeah,
just doing Banquet because I mean I don't really think they can offer me anything that would be that interesting.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. But if Kabam listens to this interview, and you should believe that they do, because I know they listen to a lot of my interviews. This is not what they want to encourage. They want to encourage people who aren't spending to spend
Oh,
heavily,
for
and then to
sure.
continue to spend heavily infinitum. They don't want people to take a step back. Now, Kabam has announced things that are going to happen in the near future. Just recently at Summoners Fest, which was last weekend, and
Hmm.
they've listed the new game modes. They've listed Ascension. They've listed something called collectives. Um, did you listen to any of the live streams that Kabam had with regards to those big announcements?
I did, yeah. So I basically listened to the entire thing. I
You did.
yeah, like the full 15 hours. I
Yeah.
was not away from my computer for very much time during that time. But
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Fortress Assault, like the Fortress game mode. I feel like that could be really interesting if
Hmm.
they execute it right.
Yeah.
I also feel like it could drive that gap between a free to play player and a spender just
Absolutely.
through the roof. When you're using an entire roster, I mean, their announcements were super cool. Ascension, same thing. I feel like that could be really good. That could be a way to kind of slow big whales like myself down, but enough where it's like the free to play can like feel like they're making significant progress, but we're not feeling like we're halted
Yeah.
completely.
So
So
so stop there. I want to deep
mhm,
dive into so Fortress Assault. Yes, I agree that does sound cool, and it may have an issue with regards to the difference in rosters between whales, free to play, and casual spenders. I do agree with that. Now we're going to see how they execute it. We'll see how the rules are. But it does sound interesting. But they were really light on details with regards to Fortress Assault. They were
mhm,
a little bit more detailed in Ascension. If you wouldn't mind, could you just explain to the listeners what you believe Ascension to be?
Yeah. So the way I kind of took it is we're essentially, I mean, in my opinion, we're kind of getting the 8-star without getting the 8-star. We're not getting
Okay.
reset. So our rosters are gonna, our grind and our spending is gonna be, I guess, valued kind of going forward. But at the same time, we're getting a whole new leveling system for a 7-star of 11 levels, which I think 11 is a little excessive,
Mhm.
but 11 levels. And then we're getting that might, which is going to be interesting
Yeah.
because it's like that whole new mechanic, which normally comes with the new star level, but we're not getting that new reset of stars.
Right.
So I kind of have really mixed feelings on it. I think one of my favorite times in the game, to be honest, is when a new star level comes and you
Okay.
have those champions that normally aren't that meta, but because the pool's so small and because they're like your first 8-star you pull, for example, that becomes a meta champion.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a cool shift. The Ascensions can be good if they paywall it completely and they make it so like you're only ascending champions if you're a huge spender. I think that could be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I think if they allow free to play players to get like 1 or 2 or 3 ascensions and they allow them to like steadily make that progress, but they allow us to get like 5 to 7 and like kind of go on a like just an accelerated track, but not fully
Yeah.
paywall stopping people. It's kind
Yeah, so they did announce that Ascension was going to start or hit the game in spring of next year.
of. Hmm.
Now they purposely said spring because that gives them a little flexibility across like 3 of the
Hmm.
months in order
Hmm.
to release it. What I'm assuming it's going to be like in the March April timeframe is when they're going to release that. Now, what I would hope that they do provide is they early communicate the first batch of champions that are going to be ascendable in addition to the new champions that are starting to be released. Because I do think that could possibly influence people's decisions on who their rank fives are going to be. I mean, of course, I'm going to rank 5 somebody who has a future in this game. And if
For
they,
sure.
yeah, if they do announce what that first batch is, I'm probably going to save up my resources in order to rank 5 those people first. Now,
Yeah.
you said you just pulled Lizard, which is one
Hmm.
of those first ascendable champions. So I do think that
Yep.
was probably a smart thing for you to go ahead and rank for that because that champion automatically has value in the future. So
And they
that's
even made the announcement too about how they were going to send everybody who has Lizard and I think it was Lizard and Paviter. They're going to send them the Ascension mats day one so that they can get that Ascension on
yeah,
that champ. So I was like, I'm loving Lizard.
yeah,
So straight to rank 4. Yeah,
right.
no brainer for me.
That's awesome. So what about the other thing that they announced? Collectives. What do you know about
Yeah.
collectives?
So collectives is really cool. I've been having this debate a lot with people, and I think collectives are a really cool thing for the game,
Yep,
where you get that champion, and it has value. Like even a Rocket Raccoon or something that not many people play will
yep,
still impact your account, which I think is really cool. That's a cool way to do it. I think a lot of people are kind of misunderstanding though that you have to, because I've seen a lot of people say you have to like rank up low champions when the only one that's affecting your actual score is that captain, which is that highest rarity of that champion.
yep.
For someone like myself, I don't really have to do that. I have almost every champion in the game is 7 stars. I think I'm missing 3.
That's right.
Um, so I'm not too concerned with that. And I think that's a really cool thing. I also think it's going to give me a huge advantage um, in game modes, in competitive game modes to be more specific. I think collectives are a great idea in theory. I don't know how well they're going to be in execution in those competitive game modes because fights that you wouldn't think are otherwise possible in battlegrounds instantly become possible, and you don't know why or how somebody like what collection level somebody is that
Yeah.
they're getting a stat bonus, which I think in a competitive game mode is a little bit pay to win. I obviously they can catch up and you can kind of catch up to a spender in that regard. But I think those collectives are really cool and I'm going to love them in like questing and things like that.
Yeah.
Don't know how I feel about them in a competitive game mode, especially because you don't know people's collection level and
Yep.
you don't know that stat bonus that they're getting.
So I think it's interesting that you're assuming that it's going to be the bonus is going to uh, play over in the competitive game modes. I don't think that they have announced that yet. I do think that they're probably going to look at that really closely before they're going to allow those stat bonuses to benefit like war or battlegrounds.
That is my hope.
Yeah,
I think if
I
they
hope
do
they do.
that and they just keep it to non-competitive game modes,
Yeah.
awesome change. If they allow that in competitive, I think that's a slippery slope.
Yeah. I think collectives is going to. I mean, of all of the announcements that they made, collectives has the biggest propensity to really skew whale and free to play accounts. It
Mhm.
could have a very detrimental effect to the overall the entire game between all of the players and everything. So yeah, so I think that they need to be very careful with regards to that.
For sure.
All right, so you said your favorite game mode, favorite thing to do in Marvel Contest of Champions is Everest content.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Everest content that you've
Oh,
played?
I love Necropolis. I know a lot of people didn't.
Yeah,
I know I've seen a lot lately that people are not wanting another Necropolis, and there's not many people left that want that type of content. But I'm like, that's like my kind of jam. Like getting to build a unique team and that
yeah,
synergizes well together. I think synergies are such an awesome concept that they
yep,
really should use more in more areas of the game.
yep,
Um, so just getting to build that synergistic team, especially being a Marvel fan and like seeing those certain champions who have the synergies with others based off comics or movies or things like that, I just think that's super cool.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think synergies are probably one of the most overlooked thing in this game now. I mean, they used to be really key. You got the story content. You had the Summer of Pain. I mean, all of these game modes that allowed you to use more than one champ uh, were fantastic. You build your own team. It was like a puzzle that you could fix, or
Mhm.
yeah, that you could put together. But now, I mean, even EQ it's one champ and swap them out. One champ, swap them out. So you don't even get used
Mhm.
synergies anymore. So that's unfortunate. All right. So
Yeah.
Gavin, I have some rapid fire questions I'm going to ask you. I don't want you to think
What do you,
about them. I just want you to give me your quick and honest answer on some of these things. Are
yeah.
you ready for these?
Yeah. Let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it. All right, favorite champion of the game.
Oh gosh. Just first thing that comes to mind right now is Lizard,
Yeah,
just because I'm having so much fun with him, and that's probably recency bias.
yeah.
Um, but it's if I had to like actually say my favorite champion in the game, it's Prowler. It's
Uh,
hands down, it's Prowler.
Yeah, good choice, man. Yeah, Prowler is fantastic, especially for war. He's saved my
That
butt
was like all
quite
my
a bit.
fights in LVT.
Yeah, right. Have you used the Maker yet?
I have Maker at rank 3, I think,
Okay.
right now, and I've kind of played around with him a bit, but yeah, as far as tech champions go, Prowler's just my guy.
Oh, dude, the Maker. I use the Maker pretty much in every war, and he just cooks, man. He's absolutely amazing. But
I think he's really
Prowler.
underrated. I've seen a
Oh yeah,
lot of people that have like really said that Maker's not that great, and I'm like, I don't
he's
think you're really utilizing him or kind
yeah.
of getting to where he's good. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's absolutely fantastic. All right, most overrated champion.
It's overrated. Oh gosh, that's this is gonna be bad, but I think Starkey's pretty overrated. I have him and I have him max sig, and I
Yeah.
get that top play battlegrounds players like love him, but I feel like the Starkey glaze is just too much. I think he's yeah, I don't know. I think he's a battlegrounds champion. He's great in battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, I don't think he's that great, and that's saying a lot because Spider-Man's like my favorite Marvel character of all time. So
Dude, if I said Starkey, if anybody heard me say Starkey was overrated in my alliance, I'd be kicked the next day, man.
well,
I
for
mean
sure.
that's Lags' champion, so yeah, he's no disrespecting Starkey. So Everest quest that you loved the most, other than Necropolis.
Yeah. I really liked the first iteration of Crucible. I think that was really cool because that was like the first time we've
Yeah,
seen that concept of switching the champion out.
yeah,
And I really got to utilize my whole roster and I got to come up with like fun combos for certain because we didn't have all the crazy champions like Carolina and Nico that we have now. I feel like this year has been like the power creep has really shown. with these new champions. And so just getting to use those like fun, creative workarounds for those old nodes that we took out way back when, I think that's super cool. I think that's a cool concept, and I really like the Crucible format.
Have you ever thought about going back to like Labyrinth or Abyss and just rerunning it just for fun?
I did that the other day with Lizard.
Did you?
He just tears through things. I mean, it's kind of funny because that content, like the health pools, we used to think were just so big and so immense, and now it's like our champions just decimate them.
Yeah. All right, last rapid fire question. If you had a choice between just absolute tremendous skill in this game with half the roster, or a full roster with half the amount of skill that you currently have, what would you rather have? The bigger roster or the better skill?
Oh, honestly, the bigger roster. I have, especially with questing being my thing, I just have
Yeah.
so much fun with like just playing with the different types of champions, and they're so creative with them. I mean, we're 10 years, 11 years into this game now, and we don't even have like champions that feel like even remotely similar, like a copy paste kit.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they can just keep coming up with new ways to make these champions, and this new trap mechanic that they've started utilizing a lot, and they've been able to do like tons of different things with that, with like an arcade trap or a Carolina standing in the sun. I'm like, it's just super cool from a game design perspective. I think it's awesome. So
Right.
definitely roster.
Yeah, I would probably go for the roster too. Of course, I don't have the skill right now, so I think I've pretty much pigeonholed myself in one bucket already. All right, so for a person that was at the top of the Alliance War leaderboards, for a person who has spent be considered a whale, and a person that has stepped back in order to further and more enjoy and just a lower pressure life here in Marvel Contest of Champions. What's a piece of advice you give to players who want to go competitive in this game?
Yeah. I think a good piece that I can give to players that want to be competitive is really focus on certain mechanics and like tech that's used constantly at that high tier level. Like a big one for me was light intercepts.
Yeah.
When I first went to LVT, I was a medium intercept monster in war, and I'd get clipped in the face, and I would die with like the simplest champion. And Eliza gave me one too many talking tos about that. So yeah, so I would just say focus on like movement tech like that, like light intercepts, things like that. Focus on learning the champions. A big thing in competitive that a lot of people don't really realize is just reading kits.
Yeah.
And just learning exactly how that champion functions, their animations, everything like that. Like
and dueling.
Yeah, and dueling champions. We duel, so I dueled so many champions. Anytime I was about to face a champion, I would pretty much do 3 or 4, 5 duels. That's a big one, just to learn those kits, learn the animations, read through them. Another thing too is like just the planners. At that high tier level of war, especially, the planners are so good and they know exactly what they're doing. But like, also kind of help them out. Don't be the person that reads your plan, just goes into a fight without knowing anything about that champion's kit, because your planner says it's a good idea. So yeah, I mean, just really reading those kits. That's probably the biggest thing I would say. Is just learning those champions, because we have like 226, 230 champions in the game now. So it's a lot, but I would say most of this game is reading those kits.
Right. No, absolutely. So what do you think's what's next for you think? Do you have any plans?
Not at the moment. I'm kind of just taking a step back. I'm going to probably end up going 30, 40, 50,000 units on Banquet, which isn't too much, but that's kind of what that's like my baseline, especially with the sales. What I really don't want to see, though, is them selling those champions like Dark Phoenix behind the paywalls, because I think that would stop me from spending, just because I feel like as a whale, I should be able to accelerate my progress a lot. I shouldn't be able to fully stop someone from getting something entirely, especially when it's as game-breaking as a Dark Phoenix.
Right. Did you get Dark Phoenix when she was offered?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, I'm not passing that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody really knew how detrimental she would be towards this game.
Yeah.
I don't think Kabam realized it either when they released her. She probably was the biggest. I don't want to say mistake that was released, but she was not good for the health of the game, I believe.
She definitely was not,
Yeah,
and I think that they probably didn't realize how bad it was gonna be, but I think it also just that's kinda what started this whole lack of trust in Kabam and
yeah,
putting the player behind, like, "Oh my gosh, they're paywalling these insane champions, and when's the next one gonna come?"
yeah,
And then a few months like, less than a month later, they released Torch as a rank 4,
yeah.
like, for 40,000 units. So,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, dude. I got one final question for you. Um,
We
I ask this question to everybody. Everybody gets the same question at the end of my interviews. I want
Mhm.
Voices of the Community to be a long-standing series. I want to interview many, many more people across the entire MCOC community. Who would you, Gavin, want to hear from most in a future episode of Voices of the Community? You can give me a name. You can give me a category like free-to-play, casual player, whale, Kabam employee, or further content creator. Who would you like to hear from most in future episodes of Voices of the Community?
Yeah, we have one of my good buddies who I've known forever playing this game. He also got recruited by Kurd.
Okay.
We're kind of down here playing together. His name's Carbon Patriot. He's kind of
Okay.
been at the top scene as well, and he's even less tuned back from the game right now. So it's like kind of interesting because I like to will tell him about things going on, and he's even like kind of so out of tune that he doesn't really even know what's going on anymore at the because he's like just so burnt out on it. And I kind of just getting that interesting perspective on
Okay.
why he's so burnt out, or just like someone who honestly just is feeling that burnout because I
Right.
know a lot of people are leaving constantly at the stage that we're at right now. So
So you said
yeah,
Carbon Patriot.
yep,
All right. I'll have to look him up and get in contact with him. Awesome, Gavin. Well, dude, I do really appreciate you spending your night with me, man. This is a great
yeah,
interview. Very
for
laid
sure.
back. You are very informed about the current state of the game. You have gone above and beyond where I have ever hoped to achieve in Alliance War, and I really do appreciate you spending your time and your perspective with me. Uh, for all
Absolutely.
for all the listeners of this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. Helps me produce more and more of these voices of the community for you all. And I really appreciate you all spending your time with me. And I will see you guys in a future video.